What's up, Browns fans? Welcome back to another episode of the Dawgs podcast. Finally back in studio. All three of us, plus Justin's reigning championship trophy. Josh's is around here somewhere.
Yeah,
it's back
here. Justin took up all the space on the desk, so
it's all good.
I should have put it out here in front, though.
We're not sponsored by Trophy Smack or anything, but if you do fantasy leagues and you're looking for cool trophies, they got sweet ass trophies on their website and fantasy rings. So that was just like a free plug because I think their trophies are cool.
Nice.
We got a fun episode today. We're going to talk about the preseason game coming up here against the Carolina Panthers. Browns did us a huge favor, announced that Shedeur is going to start for this game before we decide to go live. Typically, they like to wait until after we've already wrapped up for the week before they announce any exciting news. So we appreciate that. Also, he's going to be getting meaningful reps now in these joint practices with the Panthers. So we got a lot of fun stuff we want to get into today. Before we do, though, remember, if you want to get your thoughts and intros on the show, head to thedogspodcast.com, tap leave voicemail in the drop-down menu. If you're watching on YouTube, please like and subscribe. Make sure you tap the notification bell so you don't miss any of the content that we're putting out. You can listen to the podcast on Apple and Spotify. Not Google. I almost forgot, but I remembered. Google Podcast doesn't exist anymore. You can find us on any social media platform. Just search at The Dawgs Podcast. And lastly, if you're looking for more Dawgs content, just head to jointhedawgs.com. Become an official Dog Pack member on the Patreon page. Get access to the private Discord. Play fantasy football with us. If you aren't already signed up to play fantasy football, you still have time, but the cutoff is going to be in the next week or so, so don't wait. You don't want to be the guy who got left or gal who got left out because you waited until the last minute and then all the leagues were full. We have to make the cutoff at some point. We've got 8.
We're getting close to the cutoff.
Yes, we have 8 redraft leagues right now.
Yep.
Woof.
8
and a good woof.
And they're all 10-person leagues.
Yeah.
So we have 8 10-person redraft leagues. We have multiple dynasty leagues going. There's a lot of fantasy football being played right now in the Dog Pack. So
I'll just announce real quick, too, there are some people wanting to maybe start another dynasty league in the Dog Pack. So if you're interested in dynasty and you missed out on the one we just started up last month, get in and get talking with these guys.
Yeah. So if you want to play with us, get in there. Don't miss out. It's a good time. You get these championship T-shirts. Justin's wearing one if you win the league. So it's a good time. That Discord's always live with Browns fans just talking about everything. So that's jointhedawgs.com. Support the show. Support yourself. Play fantasy football. And by support yourself, I mean have a place to go when the Browns are pissing you off because I'm sure you'll find somebody to talk to in there. That's jointhedawgs.com to become an official Dog Pack member. Before we jump into the episode, we do want to shout out the T County Browns backers have another event coming up this Sunday at Shenanigans Bar and Grill in Dover, Ohio. Hanford-Dixon will be on site.
Yep.
Puppy auction, right? How is this going?
Yeah, I should have brought up the flyer for the details, but like a certain percent of all the proceeds for the entire day, like from the bar and what you donate through autographs with Hanford and all that kind of stuff, goes to the Humane Society.
Yes,
and then you can actually adopt puppies on the patio.
So that's going to be a really awesome event. We know the Browns do that kind of stuff up at the training camp. The T County Browns backers. This is going to be their second big event they've put on this summer. The first one turned out awesome over at Wabash. So what time is it again?
12 to 5?
12 to 5.
12 to 3? I can't remember. I know it starts at noon. Yeah.
Get there at noon. Shenanigans Bar and Grill in Dover. Meet Hanford-Dixon.
We'll be there live streaming.
Yep. We're going to be there. I'll actually be there for this event. I made sure to get permission in advance from the boss. So it's going to be a good time. So, again, that's this Sunday, noon, Shenanigans Bar and Grill, Dover, Ohio. Come hang out with the Dogs, the T County Browns backers, and Hanford-Dixon.
That's right.
All right. So let's jump in. Big news of the day. Shedeur Sanders announced to be the starter. I feel like it had to be done because Joe isn't playing. Kenny Pickett's not going to play. Dillon Gabriel's not going to play because they're nursing injuries. You can't just bring Tyler Huntley and say, hey, go start. I mean, I guess you could, but that'd be really, really stupid. Why would you? Tyler Huntley's clearly has no place on this football team. So why would you come out and give him the start in the preseason game? This is a good bar or like a test for Shedeur because Carolina announced they're going to play starters.
Yes, they are, at least to begin the game. Yeah.
So I'm excited. I was already excited for the preseason games to get a chance to see Shedeur and other rookies play that might not get to play much in the regular season. So I'm super excited now for these joint practices in the game. What are you guys looking for? I guess specifically in the game, what are your expectations for Shedeur heading into that?
It's going to be interesting because I just put out a little quick video before the episode, but he's taken no reps with the first string offense yet. So there's none of that chemistry there with the receivers. Now, at the same time, I don't think Jerry Jeudy and David Njoku are probably going to play. Kevin Stefanski said today, I believe, going to start some starters, going to hold some out. So I would imagine some of those key guys aren't going to be out there. So he'll be out there with Harold Fannin and Deontay Johnson and guys that he's been throwing to all camp anyway. You're right. It's going to be such a great test. And he keeps saying over and over and over in the media, I'm just waiting for my opportunity. I'm just waiting. I'll get my opportunity. I'll make the most of it when it comes. Well, here it is. So I hope he does what he's been saying he's going to do.
What about you, Justin? What are you looking for?
Like, as far as Shedeur goes, man, I think we all have to have some tempered expectations,
Sure.
right?
Yep.
But for me, I think it's just a good opportunity to do like an eye test on the guy. You know, like live reps in game, pressure, not any touch you on the arm and hey, the play's over stuff. Like, let's see what this kid can do. My thing is, as far as everything stands right now, I worry that he won't get the opportunity. My thing is, I'm like, go ball out so hard that they can't deny that you need an opportunity at doing this. Like, that would be, I know we have to temper expectations, but for me, best case scenario is he goes out there and just dices it up. And then we make it really interesting.
Yeah.
It's one of those things, too, where I'm looking for things like, can he get in and out of the huddle?
Right.
You know what I mean? Obviously, I'm looking at his play, but I'm looking for like the other things that go into quarterbacking as well. Does he have command of the huddle? Are we taking pre-snap timeouts because we can't get the play in, or we're calling for motion and nobody's going in motion? Like, do we look buttoned up? Obviously, it's first preseason game. There's going to be some mistakes. I'm not an idiot. I'm not expecting us to be in midseason form. But just does it look buttoned up? Does he look like he has command of the guys out on the field, like he's leading them and he knows what he's doing? So I'm looking for that. And then in terms of his play, he's going to be going up against some starters for the first time. But it's not like Carolina, correct me if I'm wrong, maybe I'm misremembering. It's not like they're rolling out the 85 Bears.
No, they were 5-12 last year
on
guys,
defense,
so, yeah.
So I'm looking for him to at least look good. He's going to be going against vanilla defenses. It's not going to be super exotic blitzes and coverages. At least I wouldn't expect it. Most of the time in the preseason, you play your vanilla base packages and stuff like that, especially the first one. So I hope he goes out there and he plays well. I also hope the Browns give him at least like a serviceable offensive line.
Yeah.
Don't you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Don't give this guy his first chance to go out there and play against the ones and play with some ones, and you put him out there with future janitors on the offensive line, and he just doesn't even have time to do anything. And we can't get an evaluation of the guy if he's just instantly running for his life. So even if he's not going to play with David Njoku or Jerry Jeudy and some of those top guys, let's give him at least a serviceable offensive line. Deontay Johnson is a nice weapon to have for a preseason game.
Yeah.
Let's do a little bit, give him some weapons, give him a good line, and see what he can do. Can he move up and down the field? I think he's going to get minimum a half.
Yeah, I would think
so.
If not 3 quarters.
Yeah, 3 quarters makes sense. And if they're the only 2 quarterbacks active, him and Huntley, why would you give Huntley an entire half of preseason action when he's not going to be on the team?
Right.
Yeah,
it makes no sense.
No, he's going to be one of the first guys cut.
Yeah.
As soon as Dillon, Gabriel, and Kenny Pickett are deemed healthy enough to go out there and start playing.
I agree.
So give this guy a chance. And Gage said if he plays well enough, he has a chance to go in and take the job. It's Joe's job, but I do think if he plays really, really well, he at least has a chance where the 2 spot is up for grabs. You know what I mean? And he can move into that. Who's going to be quarterback coming out of the bye week 8 when we only have 1 win? This is a good chance to start making the case that it's going to be Shedeur.
Yeah, this is where his opportunity to overtake Dillon Gabriel in the Browns' eyes, because they clearly have Gabriel ahead.
I agree.
I mean, he's the only guy out of the 2 of them who's taken. Gabriel's getting reps with the first team. He's a first-team quarterback in practice.
Where do we stand on this? So we've been texting a little bit today and stuff. One guy asked, is it weird that the Browns seem to be going out of their way to not give Shedeur a chance and give all these chances to Dillon Gabriel? And I said, I don't think it's weird. It might be stupid. But I don't think it's weird because we all said as soon as the draft was done, they're going to give Dillon Gabriel all the chances.
Right, but I thought it was more the chances depth chart jockeying. I didn't think it was going to be 2 start week 1, which I've seen a lot of people, especially after the draft and stuff, like, you can't just hand the job to Shedeur. You got to make him earn it. He's got to, earn his spot and show what he can do. Well, they handed it to Dillon Gabriel.
Yeah,
they just handed him first-team reps. Like, he didn't do anything to earn them. He didn't.
Except for get drafted in the third. It's not like he was drafted in the top
five. Yeah, third-round quarterbacks don't ever earn first-team reps right out the gate. Jake Burns said that over the weekend.
It's one of those things, too, where they just seem to – it's like they fell in love with the person, and it's like the person might not match the player.
Right.
You know what I mean? And when we drafted Dillon Gabriel, I was, like, sneaky intrigued because I didn't watch him – a ton at Oregon because he's on the West Coast. But I did watch him in 2 of his games against, the team that won the national championship. He played well in both of them. And obviously, he was in the Heisman running, and I was like, okay, this guy, he's small, but I watched him play really well against some tough competition, and he played a lot of college football. I was sneaky intrigued. But that intriguing, that intriguement, is that a word?
It is now, baby.
Is where it wore off real quick when you have guys coming out saying, like, he just doesn't belong on an NFL football field right now. Like, Zach Jackson said, practice comes to a screeching halt when he goes into 11-on-11s because the ball just doesn't get where it needs to go. They can't do it. Basically, he goes in and everything just kind of stops because he can't do anything. And I'm just like, how is this a guy who's getting first-team reps then? What do the next guys have to do? Not even like Shedeur, just anybody on the roster. What do they have to do to eat into some of that? Because, like we said, Dillon Gabriel wasn't picked 3rd overall. He was picked in the 3rd round. Yeah. So why is he just being handed first-team reps? I don't understand that part of it. I'm like, are we willing to die on the cross for 3rd-round pick Dillon Gabriel? Like, come on. Nobody else even had him on his draft board, at least not to be a starter.
But I guess, like, my thing with Dillon Gabriel is everything that you hear from sources in Cleveland is that they chose him to be, like, the backup of the future, right? He's the backup of the future. That's our guy that if we ever find a franchise quarterback, this guy will be behind him. But the thing that's crazy is I don't even think it's necessarily a battle for starter week 1. I think it's necessarily just a battle to get to 2nd on the depth chart, or even – like in Shedeur's case, get away from the bottom where you might either get cut, traded, especially if you're a Shedeur fan. That's the last place that you want him to be, is sitting at the bottom, and there's 3 guys that they clearly are favoring right now over you. But I think it's all about positional as far as, like, down the road. I don't think any of this stuff matters for week 1, or even I think until Joe Flacco falls apart. Then I think it becomes intriguing where you go, well, if Pickett's still on the team, or Gabriel, or whoever it is, who's the next guy that's going to step in? I think that's what they're trying to figure out. At least I would hope so.
I think a lot of the stuff I've read and heard about Dillon Gabriel too is they love his classroom sessions, like his whiteboard. His football IQ is like top of the charts and everything. But at some point, that has to translate to your play on the field. Like, I don't care how good you are in the classroom, if you can't hit a wide open receiver on the practice field, that's what matters the most, is what happens on the field. So, I mean, he might be ahead of Shedeur in the classroom, allegedly. But on the field, I don't think so.
Well, in like you said, great, you're great in the classroom. I bet you there's 10 guys in our chat right now who can diagram plays and defenses. Like,
Josh Dawgs is a rocket scientist.
Yes, like if you like football a lot and you watch a ton of film and stuff, you can diagram plays. Mm-hmm. It doesn't mean you can go out there and play quarterback for the Browns. Sure. You know what I mean? I bet you I could pick 5 guys out of our comment section right now that could impress somebody on a whiteboard when talking about plays and concepts. Jake Burns can't play quarterback. He can diagram the shit out of a play. You know what I mean?
We don't know that he can't play quarterback.
He actually did play quarterback, I think, in college.
There you go, man.
So it's just one of those things where it's like what are we doing in the Shedeur stuff? Everything we've seen, he's looked excellent. And everybody said he's also not ready to be a starter. But I don't think any of us are saying we want him to be the starter. I think we just don't want him to be like in a distant 4th place.
I don't want him to get traded or cut, and then he shits on us.
The next up, like you said, because I think Joe needs to start the season.
Yeah,
they need to get rid of Kenny Pickett. Get rid of Kenny Pickett. Joe Flacco at least gives the rest of your team an opportunity to go out and be competitive. And that's what you want. You don't want these veterans and these highly paid guys to get down on the season, so that way whenever Shedeur does come in, or whoever, the team is already like, we suck, man. Like, we're all already checked out.
Yeah, you need that for as long as it'll last, which I have a feeling is going to be about
6
maybe
weeks.
There's
6
a
weeks.
natural progression.
Yes.
We don't have to worry about it. It will happen.
Yes. So but I'm excited for tomorrow.
Yeah.
Like how's it going to look? Because he will get to play with ones in practice. Those guys, they might not play in the game, but you best believe in these joint practices, it's going to be best on best, and he's going to get those reps now. And how's he going to look?
Well, that's a good point. He will get Jerry Jeudy in practice tomorrow. He will get David Njoku.
And these teams use these joint practices a lot. Like the practice session is almost the game.
It's intense.
You know what I mean?
That's where
intense.
it's ones against ones for sure.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to get some reports out of practice tomorrow. How did he look? Did he struggle? Did he look competent? Maybe we come out of practice tomorrow, people are like, well, holy shit.
Hey, like I said, that's been his mantra this whole time is like, I'll be ready when I get my opportunity. Well, let's see if he's right, because now he's getting an opportunity, clearly. So
Where do you stand on, ever since they announced him the starter, an hour and a half ago, I'm seeing so many comments too, like, typical Browns, they want him to fail. They haven't given him any first-team reps. Now they're just going to throw him in. Guess who probably is happy that he gets to start on Friday? Shedeur.
yeah.
Guess what? He'd rather be starting on Friday on limited reps than not playing on Friday.
Well, and now remember, the Browns, first of all, like our defensive line, not even just our first team defense, but our first team D line is better than the Panthers.
Yeah.
Shedeur got reps with the second string offensive line against the first team defense and held his own last week. It was only a few reps, but he didn't look bad. He didn't do anything stupid. He didn't throw picks. Like, he played okay. So I think he's going to be able to hold his own.
No, I agree. And to like the people who are talking about, we're setting him up to fail. He's getting his opportunity. Like you said, he's just been saying, I'm not worried about not going in right now. I know where I was drafted. I know what my current role is, and my job is to just be ready. So now it's here.
Yeah.
So now he's got to go take it, whether it's fair or not. Tom Brady was a 6th-round draft pick. Drew Bledsoe gets hurt. He probably wasn't getting a ton of first-team reps in practice that week.
But he was ready.
Well, this is a Tom Brady moment.
The other thing about that whole, we're setting him up to fail, you got to remember, too, this was not the Browns' plan. This first preseason game was not going to be start Shedeur Sanders. It was going to be probably start Kenny Pickett.
Yep.
And then move to Dillon Gabriel and let Shedeur finish up the game. Well, then Kenny Pickett gets hurt. Well, then the plan changed to, let's get Dillon Gabriel ready. He'll start that first preseason game. Then he gets hurt. So it's not like they had this grand master conspiracy to, we're going to not give him any first-team reps, and then, boom, we're going to put him out there right away to start he was never the plan to start this game to begin with. This is just how it happened. Sometimes, like you said, with Brady and Bledsoe, sometimes this is just how it happens for guys. Especially
what guys drafted in the 5th round.
Right.
Yeah.
You just got to be ready. That's why
Brock Purdy.
Yes.
He went after Garoppolo got hurt, after Trey Lance got hurt.
That's why Shedeur's out there before practice and why he's out there after practice, because he might not be getting the reps in the game or in practice, but he's putting in the extra work that you have to do as a 5th-round draft pick to make sure you're ready when you do get your opportunity. Nobody's handled it better than Shedeur. Shedeur fans are handling this so much worse than actual Shedeur Sanders is handling this. In front of the media, everything. He's been perfect.
He's been the quarterback that we have wanted. I mean, as far as personality, the stuff he does on and off the field, the classroom stuff, the extra work, the community stuff, the way he talks to the media. Now, if he could just put it together on the field too, it's
he's almost been the best parts of Baker in terms of how he's handling himself in without the bad stuff. Without talking about Duke Johnson's contract and the brashness and the air. He's kind of come in and he's been humble.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And he's seems like a leader, and we've already heard veterans on this team talk about they gravitate towards him. We even heard reporters say when he gets to go into camp, the energy comes up for everybody, not just, the fans. So I'm just really excited for Wednesday, Thursday, and in that game now. I'm probably more excited for that game than I am for actual week 1.
I mean, it's going to be must-see TV now. And you don't really get that very often in the preseason.
You don't at all, usually.
No, and if you do, it's usually a rookie, or it's rookie driven.
Yeah.
Yeah. So This is exciting.
While we're kind of talking about the quarterbacks, I was looking at our notes here, and it says Michael Silver reported that the Browns rejected multiple trade offers for Dillon Gabriel after they took Shedeur in the 5th. I guess my first question is, who's Michael Silver?
Let me pull
He's
that
a guy.
Go ahead, keep talking.
How much do we believe that? Because all I know is the world acted shocked when we picked him, and then all of a sudden, multiple teams were calling him the Browns the very next day to try to trade for him. Nobody was going to draft him.
He writes for The Athletic.
So I don't know. I'm skeptical on that. I'm skeptical on literally the night before, everybody was just demolishing the Browns in the media about taking Dillon Gabriel. He wasn't even on anybody's draft board. And then the very next day we draft Shedeur, and multiple teams are reaching out trying to trade for the guy that nobody wanted 24 hours before. Seems sus.
Well, I think that there probably were teams that had Gabriel, but just not in the 3rd round, because the Browns seemed like they were trying to get him ahead of, and it was reported, maybe the Dolphins, maybe the Eagles. There were some other teams that might have been interested in bringing him in as a backup. So, I mean, it would make sense that other teams would be like, oh, well, you just took Shedeur in the 5th. Here's the 7th round pick for Gabriel, who you're probably not going to use now. And I'm sure, he didn't say what the trade offers were, but I'm sure they were shit offers.
Well, that's where I'm at. I'm like, listen, Michael, don't write the article. We get it. These guys, their draft stock is not improving, and it doesn't make sense to trade them. Just don't write the article, brother. Sorry. I'm just saving us a little bit of time. There you
go. I saw that in these notes, and I kind of want to talk about that. I guess kind of transitioning then off quarterbacks. This isn't an episode devoted. We have other players on our team. Who else are you guys excited to see in preseason action and even in these joint practices? Who are you guys watching out for?
Let me do this. Let's play that voicemail
from Stacy.
Because she was up at training camp on Saturday. So she kind of sent in a voicemail with some of her takeaways, and I hope I got this set up right.
What's going on, Dawgs Podcast? It's Stacy. Just wanted to give a little review / update on my day at training camp. So I ended up going August 2nd. That was the Saturday. First off, shout out to my new buddy, Kenny Mack, who I ended up actually being able to meet in person, which was really, really awesome. We actually were sitting next to each other, and we didn't even realize we were literally directly next to each other until I posted a picture in the Discord. And then sure enough, we were like, hey, are you who I think you are? It was really funny. So it was sweet to get to sit down, talk with him, and get to know him a little bit better. But a couple of things I took away from my training camp day. Denzel Ward, that man is a lockdown. Like, he is the real deal. And he had an amazing pass breakup against Deontay Johnson right on the sideline that I was by. It was really cool to see. Other notes, I will say someone that's really been impressing me is Gage. I can't even say his last name. Larvadine, maybe, number 84, a wide receiver. That kid, he had a really nice touchdown catch from Joe Flacco, and I just keep seeing him pop up in videos left and right. I'm really excited to see him in the preseason and hopefully even make the roster. I think that he could have a good future if we just give him a chance and he gets some reps in there. So only other note I will say, being in person and seeing Dillon Gabriel, he is quite short. I don't know how that's going to be translated into the NFL, but we shall see.
Just kind of like talking about that last point, I saw a new picture, and it was Dillon Gabriel in between Joe Flacco and Kenny Pickett, like running off the field. And I was just like, God, I'm not trying to beat a dead horse here, but holy shit, this guy's tiny. like very, very, these little guys, like Kyler Murray can kind of get away with it because he's a freak athlete. Drew Brees got away with it because he was elite accuracy, and he was just like, was able to find a way through the windows. Like, it was like his superpower. Mm-hmm. Russell Wilson got away with it because he was athletic, roll out, let him cook. By all accounts, Dillon Gabriel is not doing good at those things, so that, would help a shorter quarterback. It's not even the fact that he's shorter. He looks like a high school kid playing professional football or trying to play professional football. And by all accounts, he's not doing it very well. And I don't know, like he's just a small dude. he's a small guy. So, in the fact that you can go up to training camp and not even you're not even like up next to him. You're just looking at him out there with other grown men, and you're like, shit. Like,
He's noticeably smaller, right? I mean, we were up there
fair.
2 weeks ago.
That's very fair. Yeah. Well, to go on Stacey's voicemail, Denzel Ward just slept on big time. Easy top 5 guy. But he's on the Browns.
If he could come down with more interceptions,
He'd be
that's the problem
elevated
with him,
higher.
I think.
Yep.
That's why he doesn't get ranked as high
Yep.
typically, because the picks are always low.
He doesn't get thrown at that much.
True.
You know what I mean?
Like
Like,
last year, he
takes
led
it
the league
99,
in
dog.
pass breakups, So, I mean, dude is a lockdown corner.
he's awesome. And the biggest knock on him, everybody always talks about, he's just always hurt.
It's not.
But he's just not. It's kind of like the Amari Cooper thing when he was in Dallas. And everybody talked about like, he's just always hurt. But then you went and you look back and like, he's missed a game.
Bro, I broke it down season by season. It was like 3 games max, I think.
If you go look at the game logs, he never missed more than like 3 games.
But
in a
plays
season
hurt.
or something.
Does play hurt.
Plays hurt, but he plays well hurt.
Yes. Yeah.
With Amari, like going back to Dallas, there was a lot of games where he would go out for a series because he came up limping, but then he'd come back in. So that I think that just perception gets put on a guy when they're constantly going on the sideline hurt.
I think it's the concussion thing,
And
honestly, man.
Yes. And to people who are
concussion
like,
thing.
well, he misses 3 games, go find me the player that doesn't.
No, nobody.
Especially in the secondary. You know what I mean? So if you're getting elite Denzel Ward for 14 out of your 17 games, I'm taking that all the time.
And be thankful.
All the time.
Be very thankful.
Yep. Let me just
go ahead.
I was going to answer your question
Yes.
originally. Then, for me, like my top guy that I want to watch is Carson Swessinger.
Fair.
I am so the reports from him or about him from camp have been rave reviews. I mean, everybody's like, this kid is the real deal. He hits, he flies around the field. He's always at the ball. I can't wait to watch him play against another team. Because he's a starter. He was listed as a starter on the first unofficial depth chart that came out last night, and I think he's going to be fun to watch, man.
I agree.
Him and Mason Graham.
Yeah.
Mason Graham too, for sure.
I know like Miles isn't going to play,
Right.
but man, it would be pretty cool, especially if they're going to start their starters, and then that was an offense that was kind of like on the rise last year. If we could just throw our first team defense out there for like a series, I just want to see Schlesinger and Mason Graham and these guys with Miles and Alex Wright and all this stuff. I want to see, I want to see how dominant they're going to be, because I don't think we're going to win any games, or not very many. But can we at least be in games, or can we steal games because the defense is just going to be that good? You know what I mean?
Right.
And so far, everybody's talking about like this defense is looking like it was 2 years ago. So far in the training camp, and now is it because our offense is dog shit, or is it because like they're back to being that dominant?
From being there,
They look dominant.
the pressure is nuts.
They look
It doesn't
dominant.
matter if it's first string D or third. Like
Yeah, they were there. They got home.
Yeah, we talked about that after that training camp session. It's impressive.
While we're on the defense too, we're talking about Carolina, and they're 5-12. They got some dudes on offense.
Yeah.
They like Bryce Young ended the year extremely well. I don't know if you guys recall this on a heater. I think he had a 5 or 6 touchdown
It'll be
game at
interesting
the
to
end.
see how this goes too, because
Yeah.
we just got done talking about Dillon Gabriel at 5'10", 5'11", being too small. Bryce Young's 5'10", and he's like under
Super small.
200
He did look
pounds. He's a
small.
very small quarterback,
Yeah.
so it'll be interesting to watch him too.
Yep.
He's got a very good offensive head coach, I believe.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's got some good weapons, and he was prolific in college. You know what I mean? So, I mean, Dillon Gabriel was too.
I mean,
but
Bryce Young was number 1 overall pick. Same with Kyler Murray. There is a difference here between these guys.
yes, for sure. So, but I'm excited to watch the defense, because if the Browns are going to be able to hang their hat on anything this year, it's going to be that front 7. You know what I mean? They're going to live off keep forcing turnovers. They're going to have to they're going to have to score some points. First of all, like the defense is going to have to score touchdowns this year, I think.
Or put the offense in.
And they're going to have to. And they're going to have to put the
They're going to have to
offense-
get turnovers, which we didn't last year.
That was the biggest difference in defense last year and the year before, is we went from forcing all those turnovers to we couldn't force turnovers. And I think we talked about it on an episode. Very rarely do you like lead the league in turnovers every single year, because turnovers tip balls. 1 year you lead the league in turnovers. How many lucky bounces went your way? You punched the ball out and it happened to bounce right to your guy instead of their guy.
Yeah.
And then last year we punched the ball out and it goes out of bounds. They retain possession, or we tip it up and nobody's in the area to get the deflected interception. So the turnovers are so Like, there's so many variables in actually forcing the turnover. You can get the ball out and still not get a turnover, you know? So we got to get back to forcing turnovers, getting pressure, putting the offense like in plus territory, because Dustin Hopkins has to make field goals.
Hey, he made 3 of 4 the other day, right? 75% is better than what he did last year.
Dustin Hopkins has to make field goals this year. Like, if we want any chance to be watchable or anything, he's got to go back to making field goals.
Do you think it's odd that yesterday, I believe it was the first day of all training camp that Dustin Hopkins kicked field goals?
Like,
at least in front of the public.
I mean, we kind of do things that are odd.
Dude, we do some
No shit, huh?
Yeah.
We have a better offense than last year, and the defense is looking elite so far. I guess my only thing is what evidence do you have that the offense is better this year?
I was just going to ask you guys, I worry that, do you think it's the same thing from last year where the offense can't stay on the field and the defense is always on the field and they're just worn down?
We were super excited about getting rid of Dorsey and going back to Kevin's offense with Tommy Reese. But I felt a lot better about this offense when we had Quinshon Judkins.
When you can run the ball
there
and control the clock.
Yes.
And
This is what I'll say
defense
about
is honest.
Be skeptical of this offense. Yes, absolutely, 100%. I don't blame anybody for that. I also try to remind myself often that we've seen Kevin, and while I don't think Kevin is the ultimate offensive mastermind like some of these other head coaches that, you know, these coordinators that get promoted to head coaching jobs, but we've seen him win games and go out and be a competent offense with P.J. Walker and DTR, who is ass. So are we going to be a better offense with Joe Flacco than those guys? Yes. We already know that. We've seen it. Will we be better with Shedeur? I hope so. That's the plan. That's the goal. So last year was historically bad. I don't think it can be any worse. This is the Browns, so there's always an opportunity to be worse. But
I guess my biggest fear about the offense and just us in general this year is the schedule. And maybe it's spooking myself, like because we don't know which teams are actually going to be good this year, but just we play a pretty soft defense week 1 against the Bengals. We could possibly win that game 80-79 or something, because they're not going to stop a nosebleed this year. But then you got the Ravens, the Packers, the Lions, the Vikings, and the Steelers. And you don't play what I would consider like another like manageable defense until the Dolphins.
Yeah.
And then you go in against the Patriots. I would expect them to be much improved.
I don't think that's a sleep game at all. I think that's a very tough game for us.
Like Vrabel obviously has inside knowledge of what we're trying to do. And then you got the Jets, who defensively will probably – we play some tough freaking defenses this year for a team that we don't even know outside of Joe Flacco who's going to play quarterback. We don't know who wide receiver 2 is right now. You
got a great point. But the other thing too, though, and I'm just trying to go both sides on this, but like last year, the Broncos were one of the best defenses in the league, and we just caught them on a game where they couldn't stop us. We went wild on them. If Jameis didn't throw those 2 pick sixes at the end, we win that game because they couldn't stop us from scoring. And it was like, wow, we're really moving the ball up and down the field on an elite defense. So you just never know. And some of these defenses you look at and they're like, this is supposed to be a great team. And then they turn out not to be, and somebody surprises you, like the Commanders last year.
Somebody said in here, why isn't Sampson above Ford as RB1? I am a little bit intrigued. That is a guy I've heard almost nothing about so far.
He's Ford missed the first 4 or 5 sessions of training camp.
Yeah, we just keep signing running backs.
Pierre Strong was the starter.
Yeah, like
the first team.
If I had to guess, it's almost always with rookie running backs, pass blocking, pass protection. You're not going to be a starting running back in the NFL if they can't trust you to pass block. But it's been almost too quiet on the Dillon Sampson. I've heard nothing. I haven't heard if he looks good, if he looks explosive, I've heard literally nothing about him this entire training camp.
I've heard a couple things that people have like showed some highlights and said he looks good and
shifty.
But it's the thing with running backs in training camp is so hard to evaluate because you can't tackle them.
Right, exactly.
At least not typically. The first stretch of training camp, it was, well, if they get through the line, they just run. You can't tackle them. And then now we're actually hitting, but it was Sampson that got demolished by Schlesinger.
Yeah, I saw that. Carson's when we took him, and I was like, we just took a linebacker
After a DT?
After a defensive tackle, and we screamed all offseason about how we wanted offense. I wouldn't be drafting a defensive player until, ever. Man, I'm very excited to watch him. Could you imagine if we could have paired him with JOK? Although if we had JOK, we might not draft him.
True.
It's fair.
But man, that would be because everybody's saying he just kind of like looks different for a rookie linebacker. Like the way he moves, the way he hits. Mm-hmm. Hey, America Joe, welcome to the YouTube dog pack. Oh, he's in the
Yeah.
Oh.
Joe America.
Yeah. Well, welcome to this one.
We appreciate the constant support. Joe's in fantasy leagues with us too, dynasty and redraft.
Yeah. He's a gambling degenerate.
Yeah. You stole his bet.
Oh man, but I'm excited for that. I'm really excited to see Harold Fannin.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Like, not even necessarily like how he plays. I'm super excited to see how he's used. I don't expect him to empty the playbook, but I do. Like, it'll be interesting to see where they got him lined up. We saw somebody in our comments. I think it was like last episode or the one before where they said Bowling Green, like they lined him up everywhere.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Motioned out of the backfield, motioned into the backfield, in line, out or he was only an end line tight end. It was a very low percentage of the time. I don't remember the exact number they said, but he was almost used in different positions exclusively. He just called tight end because he's bigger. I
think Josh had the numbers on it. He was like over 50% of their total production at Bowling Green or something
54
crazy.
Or something. Yeah.
I remember you doing the numbers, and that was the guy that everybody knew was going to get the ball to.
And he still did it. No one could stop him. And they played a couple. Everyone will say, "Oh, well, he played in the MAC, blah blah blah." Yeah. They played Penn State.
He had great games against his best opponents.
The ranked opponents that they played, and then in the bowl game, he balled out.
Yep.
Balled out. So, I mean, now he's another guy getting some rave reviews from camp. And I think you made the comment last week, Blake. You said he could be what Kyle Pitts was supposed to be.
Yeah.
Coming into the league. And I think you might be right about that.
That would be pretty stellar. We're still waiting on Kyle Pitts to have his breakout year.
I'm told it's coming.
Yes. Anybody else you guys are watching for? What about you guys in the chat? Anybody you guys are watching for?
Stacy said Gage Larvadane.
Yep.
Okay, so we've been hyped on Luke Floria, Menor Kid, Kent State, been balling out in camp. But as good as Luke Floria has been, I think Gage Larvadane, from all the reports and everything, he might even be doing better than Luke. I mean, he's come down. Did you guys see the Shedeur touchdown? I forget when it was last week sometime where he hit him in the back of the end zone, threw it up over the defender. Mm-hmm. I don't know how he got both feet in.
The out of bounds one where,
Gage caught it, somehow got both feet in. I'm like, that's an NFL catch.
We had a touchdown the day we went up too.
Yeah.
Didn't he?
Yeah.
I'm excited to see some of these undrafted guys that have played well, see how they fare against some real competition. Yeah. Let me see here. Hello to everyone from the Dawgs podcast and chat. Now with Huntley on board, how long will Jimmy D in front office keep going the circus when the stacked QB room? I think some people, it's just in Browns fans' nature to just see news and instantly overreact to it. But it's not crazy for a team to sign a camp body in camp when they have injuries at a position. Yeah, especially a camp body, a guy who is on the team and knows the offense. We have a game this week. We only have one quarterback who's going to play in said game until we sign this guy. So you can't roll into a preseason game with only Shedeur and the other three guys aren't even dressed. What if, God forbid, worst thing happens, Shedeur gets hurt? Who are you going to put at quarterback? So you had to go get it. It's not NFL teams all over the league go sign camp bodies to have for camp, and Tyler Huntley is not going to be on this team 3 weeks from now.
I think because like you said, people will see that one piece of news, but they also missed the news that Kenny Pickett and Dillon Gabriel probably weren't going to play, and Joe Flacco probably wasn't going to play. And it's like, we can't just have one quarterback for the week, for the game. Got to have a couple. So, who in the chat? Kenny Mack says Lamarian James. He's a UDFA cornerback. The cornerback with Martin Emerson being out for the season.
Well, interesting.
That's a position where depth after Newsome and Denzel Ward. I don't know. I mean, Cam Mitchell's been looking okay. Yep. It's Miles Harden, draft pick from last year? I think 6th round, 7th round pick. And then it's a bunch of UDFA guys, and
Browns
James is one of them.
Defense is going to live and die off the pressure.
Yeah,
that front is gonna have to. Miles is gonna have to have a defensive player of the year season again.
Oh yeah,
they got to feast up front because we thought we were gonna have Denzel, Martin Emerson, all these guys. Even Delpit's been nursing an injury. Like playing off and on in camp.
Well, that's just like every time, like in the offseason where it's like, oh, we have Newsome, he's extra. Let's trade him away. Let's see what we can get for him. It's one of the unwritten rules here, I feel like, of the show is you do not trade secondary pieces away because they will be
You collect
hurt.
cornerbacks.
Yes.
You draft one every year.
Yeah.
Which we didn't this year, but
Yeah. Because you can't have too many defensive backs. These guys get hurt more than anybody.
they do.
Soft tissue injuries, hamstring pulls, concussions, because they're typically smaller than everybody. You got Denzel Ward trying to tackle a 280-pound tight end and wonder why he gets hurt. Well, that's why. He's just tackled a guy who outweighs him by 75 pounds. So Callie said, thanks for answering. You're welcome. That's what we do here.
I would also be interested, obviously, because we talked about what sort of offensive line is Shedeur going to get starting out. Well, I'm interested to see how Zach Zinner looks. I know he had some sort of injury the other day, but I think he was okay. So I want to see, because that's a guy we took in the third round last year that needs to be a future piece of our offensive line. I need to see some development from him. Yep. I heard Luke Whippler has been playing very well at center in camp.
Good.
Draft pick from a couple years ago out of Ohio State. So some of those guys, Tevin Jenkins, basically these backup depth piece on offensive line, because we know that our 5 starters likely won't be the 5 starters next year. So do we have any guys that can step into that role moving forward?
Very fair.
This offensive line got old real fast.
Yep. And we didn't get a chance to address it.
It's like we were screwing around waiting for Deshaun Watson to get good, and then all this other stuff just passed us by.
Yep.
Well, we didn't, you get old real quick when you're not addressing with younger talent coming in.
I had something on the tip of my tongue. I want to see the run game.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because it sucked last year.
It was terrible. So I want to see if this offensive line, how they're playing as a unit, whoever it is. And I just want to see, like, is Jerome Ford going to play? How does he look? Does Dillon Sampson get to play? How does he look? I want to see how we're going to be able to run the ball, because it's going to hinge on, we can't let Joe Flacco throw 40 times a game. We saw what happens. He might throw for 5,000 yards, but he's going to throw for 50 interceptions also.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So we got to be able to run the ball, control the clock a little bit, lean on the defense. So I want to see if this run game is going to be good again, or if we're going to be living in 2nd and 12 in all season, which I don't know if I can watch another season of last year.
Oh, I mean, there's a 50% chance we could get that again.
The big thing for the preseason game is something that you harp on all the time is don't get overly reactive or excited about good things you see. It's okay to be, hey, sweet, that was a good throw, good catch, whatever. But we don't need to go Austin Watkins on some of these guys and like from a few years ago. Mm-hmm. But if we look bad, that's the stuff to pay attention to, because last year, all the bad stuff we saw in the preseason games was all the bad stuff we saw in the regular season. Yes. It just carried over.
If you're new to the show, our golden rule here is it's okay. It's good to look good in the preseason. You don't want to look bad.
Right.
If you look good, it doesn't mean you're going to be good in the regular season. But if you look awful in the preseason, there's a good chance you're going to be dog shit in the regular season.
If there's miscommunications, if we're off sides, if
can't
we're
line up.
starting, can't line up. Or
can't move the ball. Every pass is a dink and dunk,
a little
3-yard
dump
pass.
off to the tight end. That's what it's going to be in the season.
Yes.
Book it.
We convinced ourselves too many times, we don't have our starter out there. Or, we don't have this. Or, these guys have been begged up. They haven't gotten any reps. No.
Nope.
It's if you look terrible in the preseason, chances are you're not going to be a good football team. Like you see these good teams that they come out and they give their starters a series, and it's like 4 plays, touchdown, and then they're done.
Yep.
You watch the Browns come out with starters the last couple years, and it's like 3 and out.
What
it's
starters,
like, Jesus,
bro?
we have to give them.
What starters do you speak of?
We have to
playing
give them
games?
another series. They went 4 and out this time, and then it's like, it's just the preseason.
I feel you 100%.
They haven't got to practice together a ton. They're shaking off the rust. What other freaking excuse anybody can come up with?
Don't want to get injured.
Yeah.
Yep. And then we came out soft and unorganized, and
I know we don't want to get guys injured, but they get injured anyways. I'd be playing our start. Like, I'm not saying they got to go play a half, but man, I'd be letting these guys play a little bit. Let them bang around a little bit, because the way we've done it the last few years, it's not like we've seen a huge reduction in injuries.
No, they roll out of bed and
and roll their ankle.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
How I am, so I get it. I'm just speaking facts out here.
But these are like your elite
I know. I'm just
athletes,
25-year-old in their prime athletes. So like let's let these guys play a little bit.
I mean, it kind of goes back to 2023 too. We took that entire week 18 and we benched all the starters to keep everybody healthy. And then we took that week off and then went down to Houston and got just boat raced out of there. We looked stupid. We couldn't do anything on defense. And then the offense was, okay for a little bit until the turnover started and it was all over. So just get them out there a little bit.
Yeah,
they
I'm not saying
need the reps.
Yes, and you got to condition your body to get hit.
Yeah, that's another thing with the injuries. If these guys aren't prepared, we talked to some of these Browns alumni from back in the day, and they're like, we were used to getting hit.
We were hitting every
day.
Off the get-go. They
have to hit. And I feel like the Browns, at least by all the reports, training camp has been more intense and more physical this year.
It's about time because, years past, it's like, what are we doing out here? This isn't football.
A walk-through.
Yeah, walk-through.
The first time you get punched in the mouth can't be in the game.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean?
It's like bad training for a fight.
Yeah. Yeah. So, all right. Well, anything else we want to get into before we wrap it up? I did want to call out everybody who's watching us. This is we haven't had a turnout like this in a while. Apparently the Shedeur fans. So we appreciate everybody who's watching right now. This has been a fun one. I haven't heard too much Mason Graham in the training camp. I'm excited to see him. By all reports, he's been as advertised.
Yes. Better than advertised.
He's been very, very, very good.
And it was what everybody said. Like if you heard, coaches of his from college, teammates and stuff, they said, wait till the pads come on. Like, just wait for the pads to come on when Mason can actually get physical and he turns into an animal. And
that video with him on Wyatt Teller where he's doing the spin move, I'm like, oh, man, have fun with that. And that's just coming straight up the gut at you. I think we're going to be okay.
Best case scenario for this season, and this is obviously pie in the sky, but it's that the young guys on defense show that they are legitimate core pieces moving forward. We still got our top guys, current core, locked up, and we find a quarterback in Shedeur Sanders for the future. Like, that would be pie in the sky. Whatever the record is this year, it leads you into next year going, okay, this could be a team now.
Just don't let it be end of the year and we're going, man, I really wish we could have gotten some eyes on those guys. But let's just go to this draft.
I did see, we'll take like the last 2 minutes here, whatever. I saw a comment that said we were going to come out of the first 6 games 3-3. To me, that's pie in the sky. But that's Bengals, Ravens, Packers, Lions, Vikings, Steelers. That's 6. So I think if I'm picking 3 winnable games out there, I'm going to go the Bengals.
Maybe London Vikings.
The Vikings, just because I don't know.
What did J.J. McCarthy suck?
Yes, we don't. It's in London.
Yes, Vikings, and then probably either the Packers or the Steelers is my third one. I'm going to say
Packers is at home, right?
Yes.
Steelers is on the road.
Yeah. So Ravens loss, Lions away loss. I kind of want to go to that game. But if we're 3-3 out of that stretch, then you come into the Dolphins, Patriots, Jets, Ravens, Raiders. That's more manageable then. If you can, and now we're getting crazy Browns talk here, but then you go to your next 6 games here.
Here we go. Here we go.
Schedule. Yep. Here we go.
You got Dolphins, Patriots, Jets, Ravens, Raiders, Niners in your next 6. You can, if you've won 3 of your first ones against those, you can beat the Patriots, the Jets, and the Raiders. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You can go 3-3, and now all of a sudden you're at 6-6, and then the stretch, the
then
final
we're talking
stretch.
about playoffs.
Now, down the stretch,
getting a little loopy here.
Then down the stretch, you got Niners, Titans, Bears, Bills, Steelers, Bengals, and at this point, I would say Titans is a winnable game. Bears got a lot of preseason hype, but everything I'm hearing out there is dumpster fire right now on offense. Caleb Williams looks lost.
I haven't heard any good reports
out of Bears. Like it's. I'm hearing it's not good in Chicago right now. So you're talking Titans, Bears, possible winning games. Bengals is a winnable game. All of a sudden, like you're sitting at 9 wins. Can you steal one somewhere? Can you steal one of these?
I'd like to steal one.
So I've gone from saying in a blink of an eye. I've gone from saying we're not going to win.
We're not winning a freaking game.
We're not winning a game.
We're winning 10 games. We're stealing them.
I'm looking at I can see 10. I could pick out 10 wins right here.
If they hadn't announced Shedeur as a starter, this episode would have been a completely different tone. I'm telling you right now.
It's one of those things where I don't think I would just going based off of we were going to come out of this at 3-3.
Yeah, no.
And so I started looking at other games that if you're thinking in that line of thought, that we could steal some more games.
So for schedule people,
but it's gonna
like
be
what we
grand
just
theft.
did. Remember,
Grand theft.
we're going to be. We won't even be to week 2 yet, and the schedule is going to look different because injuries are going to happen. It's just like in fantasy
That's
football.
fair.
You can draft
Completely
like
fair.
a team that you're like, man, this team's a championship roster. You could be 1 week into the season and 3 of those guys are out. You're done. Like you got to now. You got to start making moves, and your team looks different than you thought it did the day before.
I changed it to 4-2. We lose to the Lions and the Ravens. I need your kind of optimism, man. This
I
person
love
says,
Browns fans, man.
Browns versus Ravens in the Super Bowl. That
Is
literally
happening.
cannot happen.
But I like it's.
I like the
fine.
energy.
I like the energy.
So it's, I don't know. We'll see. This Friday, I'm going to either feel like, we look buttoned up, or I'm going to be like right back to like no more.
He's gonna be
So
texting me like
this
I'm
is
gonna be
lining up
angry.
so cool though, because so Shedeur's getting the start on Friday, and then we get to do our reaction show on Sunday. We're not doing it Saturday. We're going to do it Sunday with Hanford Dixon, who is a big time Shedeur's can be the guy proponent. Like he's out there advocating Shedeur needs reps. So I really can't wait to talk to Hanford Dixon, especially if the game goes well.
Yes.
And Shedeur looks at least competent. And again, temper expectations, like Justice said. We don't need him to go out there and throw for 300 yards, 3 touchdowns, and look like all that stuff. I need to see a couple throws that's like, damn, that's an NFL throw.
Yes.
Command the huddle, like you said.
Move up and down the field a little bit.
No stupid mistakes, stuff like that. Just look competent. Move the offense.
I agree. Yeah.
All right. Well, we appreciate everybody who tuned in tonight. Our first studio live in a while, and it was what I would
Electric.
consider a success.
Juicy.
I love you guys in the chat. You guys are the best.
Probably more successful than the Browns will be this year. I believe they can get to 9 to 10. Let's hope so. Let's end on this episode on a high note. We appreciate that. I really, really hope so. It'll make this season a lot more fun because last season was freaking brutal.
Remember, this is the
through.
roller coaster fan experience.
Yes.
Because the last episode, I think we said we're probably not going to win more than 2 games. This episode, we're going to the playoffs. We'll see how Sunday goes.
Yes.
I did not say that.
This will be a good time to mention if you like talking this kind of stuff, you're on the roller coaster of emotions. You want to say we're going to the playoffs. You like to go back and forth. JoinTheDawgs.com.
Yeah, seriously.
Become a dog. This is what this episode is, and just kind of like bullshitting in the chat and talking about the wins and losses and what we can do. It's literally the dog pack
For 24
almost 24 hours a day
yes.
because there's people on night shift in there talking, people in other countries and time zones talking. It's literally just Browns 24/7. So jointhedogs.com. Play fantasy football with us and just talk Browns all day, every day. Annoy your significant other because you're in the Discord all the time.
Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely, bro.
But we appreciate everybody who jumped in here, made this a fun episode for us. And we'll see you guys sometime next week with our Hanford Dixon game reaction.